Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in. This is going to be short and sweet, and I just want to give you an update. The government is shut down. The funding bill did not pass the Senate. The Senate does not want to alter the filibuster rules to allow a simple majority aside from instead of 60 votes. To my super chat, thank you so very, very, very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Retiring Republican senators stop Trump to end filibuster for his wall. Without Senators Orrin Hatch and Jeff Flake, there is no way Senate Republicans will be able to change the rule. Senate Republicans currently hold 51 seats. While that is a narrow majority, most legislation effectively requires 60 votes, meaning any Republican-backed legislation requires the support of at least 9 Democratic senators. But Democrats are refusing to fold to Trump. So the president demanded the Republican majority change the Senate rules to lower that threshold permanently to 51 votes. This is actually a Think Progress article. I can't stand Think Progress, but it's a very good article. It's an excellent article regarding regarding this. An idea repeatedly floated. So they're not going. It's called the nuclear option. They're not going to Mitch McConnell, primarily because of Jeff Flake, who voted against the funding bill to begin with. There's no way at this point without Democratic support. Now you need 9 senators, 9 Democratic senators. So just hours after Trump's last-ditch effort to get his wall and avoid his promised shutdown, 2 retiring Senate Republicans voted against the idea, Senator Jeff Flake and Orrin Hatch. Senator Jeff Flake, who frequently criticized Trump, and Orrin Hatch, who suggested Trump could be one of the greatest presidents ever. I do believe that as well. Jeff Flake tweeted this: "The Senate filibuster is about the only mechanism left in Washington that brings the parties together. Deploying the nuclear option would end all that. I will not vote to do it." And then Senator Hatch: "I've long said that eliminating the legislative filibuster would be a mistake. It's what's prevented our country for decades from sliding towards liberalism. It's inconvenient sometimes, but requiring compromise is in the interest of both parties in the long term." There's a case to be made. Orrin Hatch is doing it out of principle. Jeff Flake just hates Trump. There is a case to be made to keep the filibuster rule intact and to not alter the rule just because Republicans control the Senate. There is a case to be made. Nonetheless, there's a government shutdown right now. Eric H526, thank you. Hello, HA and everyone. Merry Christmas. Thank you for what you do, my friend, and thank you for always sharing my videos. Have a great weekend, and keep up the amazing work as always. Check DMs for new videos. Eric H526, thank you very much. Let me check my DMs right now. Everybody, sign on to sub to Eric H526's channel. I am sharing it right now. Eric, I'm sharing this on Twitter, the first one and the second one. I just shared right this second, both. So, Eric H526, excellent work, by the way, on your channel. Congratulations, you're doing a great job. And if you're into gaming, ladies and gentlemen, definitely follow. Definitely follow Eric H526. Ladies and gentlemen, so flake off. So we have a situation where Republicans, Paris Denard is awesome. Calm down. Yes, Senate Democrats. Yes, Senate Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, have caused a shutdown because they feel obstruction is better than compromise to secure the homeland. But the Senate already voted for automatic back pay for government workers, and the majority of the government is already funded. Well, then Trump can actually prolong this. He can actually prolong this. This is an interesting. So if you look at, so Jeff Flake and others, they're not on board. They're not on board with. So government shutdown 2018. What will close and who still needs to work? With Democrats, this is Fox, but Democrats and President Trump seemingly at an impasse over a spending bill, particularly in regards to funding for border security. The government partially shuttered at midnight, just in time for the Christmas break, and Trump has warned that a closure could drag on for a very long time. He had urged Senate Republicans to use the so-called, to pass the spending bill that includes, so Flake and Orrin don't want that. The House scrambled to put together a package late Thursday that included $5.7 billion the president wants, but was unable to agree on a deal to fund the government by Friday. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has often rebuffed calls to alter the filibuster rule or revise the filibuster rule, which would change Senate procedure to require only a simple majority to approve the spending bill. What departments will close? 9 of the 15 cabinet-level departments will shutter, along with dozens of agencies: agriculture, commerce, homeland security, housing and urban development, interior, justice, state, transportation, and treasury. Essential personnel would still be required to work, but without pay. Nearly 90% of Homeland Security staff is deemed essential. Wow. Who will have to work without pay? More than 420,000 people. Okay, so let's see what this is interesting. This will eventually hurt Democrats. Rhonda, Iowa girl, they're a bunch of people. They're a bunch of neutered people. The Dems would do it to us in a second. I hate neutered men. That's why I'm Republican. Rhonda, Iowa girl, they would. You're right. That you're 100% right on. So I can kind of see Orrin Hatch's theoretical or philosophical, dilemma. He doesn't want to, because what they did was with SCOTUS, it was the Democrats who demanded a simple majority. And now, with Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, they regretted their decision. But you're 100% right. They would have done it. They would have done it to Republicans. They would have done it to Republicans. Absolutely. And I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But that's the difference. I mean, Jeff Flake was what, on the late show? Jeff Flake is going to be coddled. He's a hero. Salon, a Time magazine. I used to be published in Salon all the time. They view him to be a hero. Time magazine was like, oh, this is a photo of Flake during the Kavanaugh hearings. He's so amazing. He's just so heroic. So, but you're 100% right, Rhonda, Iowa girl. Ann Marsh, thank you, Ann. 27th Amendment should be repealed. Maybe if politicians didn't get paid during shutdown, they would actually do some work. Yeah, I mean, I think that, ladies and gentlemen, Ann, you're right, and I think that the longer this I wouldn't mind a long government shutdown going into New Year's. And then you get even more senators, Republican senators. You get even more Republican senators after January 3rd. So Trump has the leverage in a shutdown because all eyes will be on Congress. He wants his wall. The Republican base want a wall. I would have liked to see Democrats, because it'll be interesting to see what kind of concessions, if any, Democrats receive. So you need 9 Democrats. I would have liked to see dreamers become citizens. I know dreamers. I have friends who are dreamers, and I would have liked to see that. But Democrats didn't want that. They thought they could just evade. They thought they could oppose Trump while at the same time not helping their constituents. So, Ann Marsh, Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you. No, it's true. I mean, they would have done that. They wouldn't have cared either. Orrin Hatch does have a, philosophical take on it, but they wouldn't have cared. So they would not have cared at all. They want to even pack the Supreme Court, which is hilarious. There's this ridiculous, absurd notion that they can have they can add more Supreme Court justices to ensure they get the to ensure they get the votes needed for landmark decisions, which is so. This is funny. There's like a backlash now with Q. And it's not only me. It's like a whole bunch of people here and there. It's kind of funny. Now they're like, be careful who you follow. People might lead you astray from the almighty Elemental P. So what do you do? I mean, if you have Rhonda, Iowa girl, why don't the Dreamers understand they are being used by Dems, not the Republicans? They do. Rhonda, Iowa girl, one of my buddies who's a Dreamer, he's like, I hope Trump can help us. He knows that the Democrats are using his plight as political leverage. You're 100% right. Democrats, the constituents of Democrats know that Democrats are utilizing their plight, and that's what they always do. That's what they always do. Bravo, Victor, cue ball. Bravo, Victor. Cue ball. Rhonda, Iowa girl, they do. They definitely do. They know that the difference between Democrats and Republicans is that Democrats have this wide-ranging, they have people like Max Boot, who is a Republican hawk, who wrote that, oh, yeah, we don't need troops there. Oh, yeah, we do need troops there. So it's like he only, in the Washington Post, he's against bringing Americans home. And he is actually for never-ending counterinsurgency quagmires, which that's not hyperbole. That's what he's for. He's a Democrat now. Then you have the abolish ICE people. So you have this like wide net of people who are extreme, and the Democrats pretend to really, they side with Max Boot. So absolutely atheist for the cause. They are disgusting. And so Rhonda, Iowa girl, what they do is they pretend, they wink and they nudge and they say, we're with you to the extreme left. And they move their policies, and they try to really appease the Max Boots, the Bill Kristols, banks, whatever. So they really, that's their thing. They deceive their voters. Medicare for All is an example. They're not interested in that. They ran on that, but they're not interested in that. That's the funny thing. I have a website that's going to be absolutely amazing. This is hilarious. So this journalist, Amy Siskind, she actually went, and if you look at David Pakman, whom I disagree with a lot, she called the university he works at as a assistant professor, adjunct professor, not to hire him, not to renew his contract, something like that. This is how far the left will go to just hurt each other. Then she tweets out she's against bringing home soldiers. AP has some shocking background why Trump withdrew troops. He went completely off script and sided with Erdogan over Pompeo at Mattis and his national security team. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You mean Trump brought home soldiers for more? Home Americans? Despite the advice of military people? Oh my God. This is so horrible. This is, oh my God. This is like, I actually felt really bad for it. And I disagree with him on a lot of things, but this is wrong. I don't want to see anyone, hurt another person's. 2 days ago, this is David Pakman. I retweeted this. 2 days ago, Amy Siskind posted that she won't vote for white or male candidates in 2020. I pointed out this is racist and sexist. Yesterday, she blocked me on Twitter. Today, she called Boston College, demanding they not have me back as adjunct faculty. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, Pakman should sue or something. Like, you can't do that. This is insane. This is what the left does. This is what the left does. They spend more time. Yes, Don's good. Thank God. Thank God he helped Russia. Trump, however, refused to bring her. It's like, okay, you're now ignoring 7,000 Americans from Afghanistan, 4,000 from. It's like he can't do anything good. He's helping Russia and Syria, He's helping. Good. Thank you, Russia, for helping bring home our soldiers. Thank you. It's like it's impossible to just get. Can I get a thank you? Can you get a thank you? He can't. And guess who got us into that other country? Obama. So yeah, sure. I want all our Americans home. Okay, these are never-ending counterinsurgency wars, but it's like impossible to just get people who hate Trump to just say he did a great thing. My God, if he cured cancer, people would say, "Oh, well, he's hurting pharmaceutical companies by curing cancer. What a bad guy." It's too much. Like, this is a temper tantrum from the media of epic proportions. It's too much. It's too much. So I feel bad for the guy, David Pakman. I do. I mean, this is like, he should find some legal avenue. You can't just, you can't call up a place of work or a college or whatever and say, "Oh, don't have this person back." He's on the left, Pakman, but he's not enough of a leftist, or he's not liberal enough for Amy Siskind. So she just calls up Boston College, demanding they not have me. 2 days ago, Amy Siskind posted that she won't vote for white or male candidates in 2020. I pointed out this is racist and sexist. Yesterday, she blocked me on Twitter. Today, she called Boston College, demanding they not have me back as adjunct faculty. This is the left. It's never, never, never. It's just never enough. It's just never enough. And mind you, this is what they do to conservatives, and now it's coming back to haunt people on the left. It's just never and never enough. Yeah, and I can't. Look, I disagree with his viewpoints on a lot of things, especially Russia. There are people on the left who just pump the whole Russiagate nonsense, so easily debunked. But it's indicative of what the country is coming to, where this is like the French Revolution of pseudo-intellectual political views. they think that the left thinks that any disagreement with their extreme viewpoints renders somebody an extreme conservative, or a horrible person on the right. Zikafoos 2020. Go deeper. Why do you think we actually live in a meritocracy, though? Do you think we actually live in a meritocracy, though? I think we do. For the most part, yes. For the most part, yes. Although Zikafoos 2020, thank you. I do believe that we live in a country where you have to. Now that there may be conservatives who might disagree with me and pick up and bring up certain points, but I do think ultimately you have to work hard and green grounds. I think that you have to work hard and you have to use your talent to the best of your ability, to make an income and, move yourself up in the world. And, but give me your thoughts. That's a great question. That's a great question. Definitely the mentality on the left is not conducive with the viewpoint of meritocracy. Everything is, oh my God, this is a systemic issue. And then they vote for Clinton. So it's like the left is all over the place. They talk about systemic injustices, and then Trump signs a crime bill, and it's just not enough. Or like no discussion. So this week was actually a very good week for Trump. Bringing home Americans, signing a crime bill, for prison reform bill. Sorry, prison reform. And still not enough. It's still not enough. First step, who's eligible for Trump's prison reform? So notice how this week it's just not enough. It's never enough. So he signs he engages in prison reform. Prison reform. I know you should watch other channels. I think you should watch other channels. I don't want you to be bothered by my viewpoints. Prison reform and then bring home Americans. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And the interesting thing here is that the longer the government is shut down, and Democrats are in a very, very bad situation, because if they give the wall funding without any concession, citizenship for dreamers, if they go, they're going to look so bad, which would be hilarious. It would be sad because he offered citizenship or a pathway to citizenship. And suddenly you have like all these foreign policy, like these liberals who have all these foreign policy experts now. Just foreign policy experts now. Complete foreign policy experts. Oh yeah, Trump is helping Russia. Everything's help except the uranium sale. So Obama presided over a sale of uranium. Now there's an article. Oh yeah, Jill Stein. Jill Stein was, the Russians wanted Stein. It's like they don't even attempt to make any sense. If you just put Russians and then wanted something that they didn't want, like Russians want Jill Stein, Russians want Bernie Sanders, Russians want Trump, and they believe it. They believe it. Meanwhile, Cash flow. This is the verbatim article title. Cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. And it's just not enough. It's not enough to, then they're like, oh, you can't, And it's like, what they do on the left is any discussion of a border wall is now linked to the most egregious extreme viewpoints. So when Clinton actually, Matthew Rosenfeld, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Justice for All 2019. Matthew, thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to you, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I mean, 2019 is going to be great, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be great. They spent 2 years, and honestly, I'm happy they control the House, and I'll tell you why. They now will spend another 2 years trying to investigate Trump, not finding anything, which will inoculate Trump from any campaign attack in 2020. And then you have the Senate Judiciary Committee, who can easily investigate Clinton. You have Matthew Whitaker, hopefully he will do something like a special counsel with Clinton. The interesting thing, though, is that there's actually a report that, and who knows, this is probably just more nonsense, but Trump and Matthew Whitaker. So Trump lashed out at Whitaker after Cohen revelations. So there were no Cohen revelations. He pled guilty to things that weren't crimes. But just because he pled guilty doesn't mean that Trump is guilty of anything. They don't have any evidence against Trump. And people are like, well, we don't know what Mueller knows. They've been saying that for 2 years. Yes, we know what Mueller knows. He has nothing. He would have already written his report, his stupid, dumb report. He would have already recommended that Trump get indicted or whatever. Okay, they're prolonging this because Mueller is an extension of the Democratic Party. He was FBI director when yellow cake uranium was shipped out of the country after the uranium deal. That is a fact. Yellow cake uranium was shipped out of the country, and Uranium One used the export licenses of trucking companies. That's in the New York Times article. President Trump has at least twice in the past few weeks vented to his acting attorney general, angered by federal prosecutors who referenced the president's actions in crimes his former lawyer Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to. Trump was frustrated, the source said, that prosecutors Matthew Whitaker overseas filed charges that made Trump look bad. So again, I mean, I'm hoping that Matthew Whitaker does something, but he needs to fight back eventually. He needs to find a way to fight back. He needs to find a way. And I think that what he needs to do is just Matthew Whitaker needs to form a special counsel. So the special counsel was formed by Comey's memos. By the way, thank you, Matthew Rosenfeld, again. Thank you. Comey's memos, just find someone's memos and just form a special counsel. The political will, obviously, is needed by establishment Republicans, but you have Flake, you have others leaving. In 2019, I do believe that Trump will fight back. I think there's going to be retribution. There has to be. There's too much evidence. Clinton transferring top secret intelligence and special access program intelligence outside the United States government. There's too much evidence. There's just too much evidence. And I wrote, if you look at Obama's foreign policy compared to Trump, there's no contest. Obama's foreign policy was abysmal. The same people that liberals are worried about now, Obama called JV, the JV team. So they even found a way to diss Trump on bringing home Americans. They even found a way to disrespect Trump on bringing home Americans. No, it was yellow cake uranium, just uranium. That's from the New York Times article. So he was not a homie. El Suda, Comey was not our homie. Comey was not our homie at all. Oh my God, Comey. There's another guy. There's another guy that just gets away with. It's so easy too. Like it's so easy. Tom Fitton. I testified on Capitol Hill last week. The Clinton Foundation is not a private scandal. It's a State Department scandal, an FBI scandal, a DOJ scandal, a foreign potentate scandal, a shady corporation scandal, and a government transparency scandal. There you go. It is what it is. You know, when you have Christopher Hitchens and Tom Fitton agreeing on something, the great Christopher Hitchens, an inspiration to so many in the world, and you have Tom Fitton, who is a conservative, Judicial Watch, a conservative watchdog group, conservative legal group. You have people left and right who know the Clinton. It's an obvious pay-to-play scam. Obvious. It's so obvious. And the media is just, in overdrive. That's it's so easy to be for them to take the Clinton Foundation down. And it's so easy for them to just start a special counsel and say, look, have Rosenstein do it. That would be amazing if Rosenstein started a special counsel, because he had the political will for. They were even talking about a special counsel before what he was confirmed as the number 2. By the way, Sessions was fantastic. He was really, really good. If you look, let's look at Paul Sperry. Paul Sperry. Paul Ryan is out, thank goodness. So no American indicted for any crime in connection with the 2016 election. No underlying evidence to support Obama asserting Putin directly approved DNC hack to help Trump. No evidence WikiLeaks is an arm of Russian intelligence. There you go. There's no evidence of anything. The evidence actually does point to Hillary Clinton accepting money and the Obama administration then presiding over a sale that actually hurts the country. They have no evidence of anything. They have no evidence of anything. And yet, there you go. I do think that ultimately, oh, cool. After manually reviewing 4 of your videos, we've determined that they are suitable for all advertisers. Yeah, baby. If you say like a certain word, the YouTube, like you can, I don't even use profanity, okay? But then they'll be like, oops, we have to review this. I just got an email now saying all 4 of the videos that were reviewed manually are suitable for all advertisers. But like if you just say one word, it's like gets caught up in the, which kind of stinks. But Ronald, there's a bunch of words like countries in the Middle East, countries that President Trump brought Americans home from. If you say it like 3 times, like Beetlejuice, 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 Beetlejuice. Samuel Stafford. Samuel Stafford. Thank you, Samuel Stafford. Thank you so very, very much, Samuel. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Samuel, you and everyone in the super chat, helps keep my voice going. And it's greatly appreciated. Samuel Stafford, thank you. Samuel and everyone, thank you so very much. I know that I'm not, really sexy and like, cutting edge in terms of finding out, information from people working in the intelligence community through a message board and all that. And I'm kind of a downer on certain things, and I'm kind of plain. And I'm not really that edgy, but I do appreciate, Samuel, your support, everyone else's support. And I just appreciate your help. Thank you, your support. Yes, we did sell them 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, and and that's absolutely true. Processed differently, yellowcake uranium could be used for. Again, if you say the word, they get upset. So thank you everyone for your kind words. Thank you. In fact, here, yellowcake. Yellowcake uranium. I say it differently. Yellowcake uranium is a type of uranium concrete powder obtained from all countries, can be used for military purposes, obviously processed differently. It could be used for power plants or military uses, obviously. And cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. What happened here? Cash flow to Clinton Foundation. Is this Facebook ads? No, it's not Facebook ads. Yellow cake. Asked about to confirm the Uranium One has in fact shipped yellowcake to Canada, even though it does not have an export license. Instead, the transport company doing the shipping has the license. That's it. That's it. Yellowcake was shipped out of this country. Don't worry about it. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at. But the media spin. Oh my god! Oh my god! The media spin is just it's so over the top. It's so over the top that it's just so over the top. Samuel Stafford, thank you again, Samuel. Thank you. Yeah, you think it stayed in Canada? No. Why? You think Putin's stupid? Like, well, we got it into Canada. That's all we need. Michael LaRusso, thank you. James Woods a few hours ago on Twitter call. Oh, I have to see this. James Woods is awesome. Hey, Lindsey Graham, the House bill is reasonable. Can you imagine if they do fund the wall? Lindsey Graham's like the House bill is reasonable. Hold on one second. This is interesting. This is interesting. It's right to fight for wall funding. The House bill is reasonable. Let's dig in. All right. All right, Lindsey. All right, Lindsey. Oh my God. Lindsey Graham still wants to keep Americans. Oh my God. I mean, how many years do we need to be there? We don't live there. It's not our, these aren't our countries. These are not our countries. We don't live there. It's not feasible. Michael LaRusso, thank you. I'm going to check that out. Oh, that's right. CNN's Journalist of the Year. That's a great one. That is a great one. That's a great story. Journalism has become the cool crowd in high school that you know is not really cool and that, you know, continually just do things that are wrong, but they get away with it. Asked about that, the commission confirmed Uranium One has in fact shipped yellow cake to Canada, even though it does not have an export license. Look at that. Look at that. So you can't connect the dots between cash flow, money flowing to the Clinton Foundation. You can't connect the dots. Oh, wow, says the godmother. Playing into Russia and Iran's hands is foolish. No. You allowed Iran to engage in testing. Of They tested, what, 21 rockets? One of my friends has also been another journalist. I'm not going to bring up his name, but he's being targeted by the left. Oh, my God. Wow. Jeez. One of my friends who is hardcore on the left, too. I'm just going to DM him right now and say, I'm sorry what they're doing to you, man. This is terrible. You deserve better. You're a good guy. A couple of my friends are people that I communicate with. One is my friend. Another person is I'm friendly with. I just let them know. I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry you have to deal with this craziness, man. That's why I left the left. When you become a Trump supporter, it's like you give two gigantic middle fingers to the world. So they can't really, like, they can't hurt you. Prison reform, they can't, like, really, it can't hurt you. You know, I'm published in the Jerusalem Post, so, like, you know, when they try to spin things, I'm a Jewish American who's a Trump supporter, and I explain that Trump's words do not incite hate. That's absurd. It's like James Woods, the godmother. I don't know if have you seen that documentary, on the trafficking? Crazy. Hillary Clinton, actions have consequences. Oh, gee. This is from the person who wanted a no-fly zone. She's running again, so I don't want to hear it from anyone. I don't want to hear it from anyone. Yeah, if he did, Well, first of all, it already took place. It's in 2010. The deal already took place. The deal took place. This already happened. They already have control. So they already have control. And it was money that flowed into the Clinton Foundation. And then it happened. So how does that, how did you find a way to get Trump on that? How on earth is that? It just, Matrimac, who loves you, baby? Young, brainier Telly Savalas. Madge Mac, I didn't see. Thank you. Who loves you, baby? Love Telly Savalas. Love Telly Savalas. Who loves you, baby? Thank you, Madge Mac. Thank you. Atheist for the Cause. I will try to watch that. Regarding what? What would the debate be? I don't even know I believe I saw a tweet that he was against Q. Who cares? Yeah, production capacity. Who cares what the difference is? This is minutia. This is minutia. Focusing on minutia to exonerate the Clintons or find some way to blame Trump. No one ever focuses on minutia with like to defend Trump. It's never like that. It's never cash flow to Clinton. What if cash flowed to the Trump Foundation and then the uranium deal went through? Oh my God, they would connect the dots. They would connect the dots. So bringing home Americans is bad. That's what we learned. Prison reform is bad. Connecting the dots, even though they're absolutely absurd with Trump, but connecting the dots with Clinton is Snopes will be on your behind in 2 seconds. Focusing on semantics. The whole point, though, is if they try to say, no, that's not. See, again, she didn't have to sell and actually hand deliver uranium. The deal was approved by an administration said to be the biggest enemy of Putin. Putin is said to have feared Obama and Clinton. That's not the case. That's the issue. That's the issue. She sat quiet as a church mouse, even though she ran, and that Putin was afraid of her. But Putin was not afraid of her. Putin was able to acquire 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Putin was able to acquire yellowcake uranium being shipped out of the country. Putin was able to, and we know from William D. Campbell and whistleblowers, influence the Clinton Foundation. And there was congressional testimony. And then what happened was Democrats said, well, where's your evidence? That's just the testimony of somebody. Meanwhile, they utilized the Steele dossier, which is not even testimony from any FBI informant. William D. Campbell is an actual FBI informant. So, they're all over the place. Democrats are all over the place. With Peter Strzok, they're like, well, he's allowed to have his opinion. And then with Matthew Whitaker, they're like, well, he said something bad about the Mueller probe. So they have no value system. It's just respectfully, you don't understand that yellowcake uranium was already shipped out. So yeah, and production capacity in the future is also bad. But there was also capacity that exists currently, not just future capacity. The point is they have access to a strategic material, commodity, utilized for military purposes. and it was already, the strategic commodity was already shipped out of the country. So he got what he wanted. This hurt national security. There's no debate on that. There's no debate. If the tables were turned, it would be game over for Trump. Oh my God. But the media focuses on semantics. Oh, well, it wasn't hers to, it wasn't her decision. She couldn't have stopped it all herself. Yeah. The Committee on Foreign Investment was only Obama loyalists. You had Loretta Lynch, you had Eric Holder, you had a Commerce Secretary who was involved in a Bill Clinton scandal in the 90s. So the notion that the notion that people would resign and protest, no, that's not the way Obama worked. It's wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not going to tell you to do something, but you'll do it because you're part of the team. With Trump, it's like he was against them. He tried to say that Michael Flynn was, take it easy on Flynn. Meanwhile, Susan Rice is like, oh yeah, Obama said do everything above board. I'm writing it down. How do you, so what? Most of the uranium sent to processing 25. And you, okay, first of all, most, so some did not. And secondly, where did it go from Western Europe or Japan? Or how do you, once you've lost track of that strategic commodity, you think Putin is too stupid to actually get it to Moscow? I mean, it's like, again, the scrutiny that Trump gets, suddenly there's no more scrutiny. Most, that's the operative word from your quote that proves my point. Most. Not all, which means that some got in the hands of Putin. By the way, Putin today, what was this? Okay, the hysteria. Jill Stein was a Russian. Russians launched social media blitz. Oh my God, to help Trump win. They did, but even though they got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity from Obama, but they really wanted Trump because of that Moscow Tower, which never happened. Jill Stein. Oh my God. Say it ain't so. Building support for Stein was one of the roster of themes, the Moscow-sanctioned internet trolls. And that's what really influenced Green Party voters. This is horrible. This is horrible. Oh my God. Isn't it interesting how Russians are really left-wing in the U.S., but they're left-wing, but they're not Democrats. They're actually to the left of Democrats. Yeah, that's the ticket. They get 20% of U.S. uranium capacity and yellow cake uranium, but they're really afraid of Trump. They're really afraid of Clinton. She's really afraid of them. She's really, they're really afraid. They want Trump because with Trump, he's a billionaire. They have nothing on him. But the Clinton Foundation is known. Uranium One officials gave money to the foundation during the sale. That is also in the article. Russians launched pro-Jill Stein social media blitz. Oh my God. No. The Russians are everywhere. They want Trump. The secret spaceship, HA. The Committee on Foreign Investment. I could look it up. I know it was Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, the Commerce Secretary. I forgot his name right now. A whole bunch of people. Hillary Clinton, she was on the Committee on Foreign Investment. So the secret spaceship. Basically, the Committee on Foreign Investment was composed of hardcore Democrats. And then they're like, well, agencies, 15, 16, had to sign off on the deal. Yeah, the assumption there is that they wouldn't sign off on something Obama wanted. The assumption also is that Hillary Clinton utilized a private server outside the government, was able to do that in the Obama administration, but not able to influence the deal because, everything was above board. Meanwhile, Trump, he gets 1 week of media frenzy on a fake news report that somebody within his office is protecting the country and taking papers from him. I mean, this is where we're at. It's like fan fiction against Trump and actual uranium scandals where Putin gets America's uranium reserves, and it's okay. It's just not a problem because Facebook ads help Jill Stein. That's where we're at. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Samuel Stafford, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so very much. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. I'll see you today. Thank you for everything. Have a great, 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 fantastic day. Thank you.